Hello, hello, beautiful beings of light. Welcome to today's special live workshop. And today just happened to be May 5th here in Canada and 2021. So 555 portal. So if you guys are someone that like to keep track of Schumann resonance, you might have noticed that in the past few days, we have a lot of white outs. So a lot of high frequency light that has been coming forth. So I thought that this would be a perfect time to talk more about the Arcturian bioplasmic light healing. I know so many of you, thank you so much for your response and your reply in my previous video where I introduced this modality of healing to everyone about, I believe, like 1 or 2 months ago. So since so many people are interested, I thought that I would go into it with a little bit more detail so that you can learn how to work with this way of healing with your higher self to empower you as a starseed and light worker. So today's workshop, we will start with some teachings first. I need to explain why we want to do this type of healing, what its purposes, benefits, and kind of just give you an idea, especially if you're really new to channeling healing, especially working with star beings. Having a better background of why you're doing it will help the healing itself become more effective. So of course I can just do a recording and just guide you in the meditation with me. But if you're like me, that like to learn the how, right? That like to learn the mechanics behind it, we're going to spend a little bit of time to go over the whys first with some teachings. So I have my whiteboard here. This is low budget production here, everybody, but it's authentic, that I can guarantee. So today we go into talk a little bit about the teachings. Then in the second half of the workshop, I'll guide you guys along with my Arcturian guides I fully trust and has helped me heal so much from my own health blockages that I've gone through. And so we'll go on that journey together. And let's do some high vibrational stuff together. And let me see. We have lots of people logging in right now. Hi, everybody. How are you guys doing on the 555 portal? I didn't even realize it's a 555 portal until I sat down and I'm like, oh, is that why my guides are like, girl, get your butt on YouTube and share. So, hi, Theo. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Zara. Nice to see you. No worries. There's going to be replay. So if you can't stay for the whole thing, you can always catch up with the replay. I'm guessing we'll be spending about 40 minutes together today, about 20 minutes of teachings and then 20 minutes of the activation itself. So if you're watching the replay, I would still suggest you go through the teachings just to understand why you're doing it and how to do it safely. And then the second part will be the meditation. Now, if you're coming back for another replay, let's say you've already watched this and just want the activation portion, you can skip ahead. And after the live is done, I'll find the timestamp of where we started the journey. So it's easier. Thanks, Lars. Low budget but high teaching. Yay. Low budget, high frequency teaching. Hi, Amber. Thank you. And some of you are saying thank you for this workshop. Thank you so much for your gratitude. That's so nice of you. Strengthen your Arcturian connection. Oh, that's great, Ayla. Awesome. So we are on good timing here. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Monique. Hi. Hi, Crystal. And hi, Claudia. Hi, Pat. Hi, Pat. Hi, Togra. Memoirs. Oh, what a high vibrational name. Awesome. So let us dive into it. And I'm sorry if it's a little dark today. It's really dark in Canada where I am. It's the grayish springtime, but I am doing my best. So please excuse me. I'm not David Wilcock. I don't have his high budget production team, but I think it's more relatable this way. It's more fun. So Okay, so first thing first, what is the bioplasmic ray? And all of these teachings that I'm sharing is just from my own perspective of experience as a full-time channeler healer in the past 5 years, and as a very connected Arcturian soul. And I've been working with the Arcturians ever since my awakening. And so I have, before this live, made a connection to ask my guides and Arcturian masters of light to protect us. And may whatever I share forth today be of benefit to you and be of high frequency, clarity, and accuracy, according to the Arcturian masters of light that I learned from. So we have set the intention. And so most of the teachings will be aligned to the Arcturian way of teaching. So if you have other teachers out there that are more like Pleiadians, like Elena Dan or Maria Jacobi, they're more like Pleiadian frequency. We are still talking about the same thing, but they may have a different way of delivering the teachings. So that's just a little heads up. And the bioplasmic ray, why we want to do these type of activation is, so a lot of you guys know about energy healing, right? There's Reiki. Reiki works with chi. There are chi channels, meridian channels in your body that Reiki or quantum touch or other type of energy healing like breath work, qigong, tai chi, that brings these more earth-bound life force energy into our bodies. Then we have the most spiritual type of life force energy, which the Arcturians sometimes call feral, or what I like to call bioplasmic ray. It just resonates with me more, but it's pretty much the same thing. Different names, same meaning, right? Same source. So bioplasmic ray is what fuels and builds our fifth dimensional etheric light body. So we have our physical body, which is fed by simply, in simple terms, food, right? Carbon food, vegetables that we eat, those are what fuel our carbon-based physical elemental body. Then you have your higher dimensional etheric light body. And what fuels that light body is the bioplasmic ray. So as all of us are, most of us here, right, is kind of crossing the 4D bridge right now. You will notice that in your life, all of a sudden things manifest a lot easier. There might be people falling off from your life, unfortunately, but you will also be able to be in the right space at the right time, at the right moment to meet the right people. And you might be noticing more of these synchronicities happening in your 4D, right, dimension. So in this 4D state of being, and if you're here with me now, you're most likely in the 4D, or else this video wouldn't pop up in your timeline. So while we are in the 4D, we have this golden opportunity to fuel and build and strengthen our etheric light body. The etheric light body is not going to look like your body now. Usually, as a clairvoyant, when I see into people's light body, it's very beautiful. It looks like it's made out of crystal, but it's not hard like crystal. It's more like jelly beings in a way. And there's such light that you cannot express in this dimension. The multitude of light that you get to see in your beautiful light body is multi-layered. It looks so iridescent. It looks so beautiful. I just can't describe it in words. You can only see and feel into the beauty of your own etheric light body. Now, everyone has one. Everyone has a template. It's part of your DNA and your auric field on how to build this etheric light body. Some of us have it more activated when we're born. Some of us don't, and we are in the process of constantly activating it. There are natural forces that helps you build your etheric light body, such as the sun, right? I've talked a lot about how the sun really has a significant, all the mini solar flares that are happening now is activating our DNA and thus activating the etheric light body. That's why they're trying to get us to stay home, because they don't want us to ascend. They don't want us to activate. But like I said in the last video, make sure you get out there and soak up some sun whenever you add and just really bring those solar light codes into your body. So as your ions and atoms in your body in the quantum state is moving along with each other, receiving these solar stargate light codes, some people call stargate light codes, some people call sun solar light codes, they're all pretty much the same thing. They begin to generate this energy. And this energy that's generating from the movement of these quantum particles is bioplasma. This bioplasma then in itself are the building blocks of your light body. So once we understand that, right, to build a light body requires, I'm not going to lie, homework and practice. Of course, it happens naturally, right? And the natural way is ascension symptoms. And why do some people have ascension symptoms and some people not? Is that most often, and there are many variables that go into this, I'm just speaking generally, is that your light body is harmonizing with the sun. Some of you that follow the space weather stuff very closely, you might have seen people have talked about how the pole has shifted already a little bit. It's not in the true north anymore, it has shifted a bit. So as the magnetic pole is shifting, we also have to adjust our frequency, right, to Mama Earth. And so that's why we want to take a moment to do these type of practices to align, harmonize our vibration with our stargate. Then the more harmonized we are, the less severe the ascension symptoms will be. So I noticed this in myself too, when there are days when I feel very dizzy or very lightheaded, and you look at the Schumann resonance and you're like, yeah, I'm definitely feeling this. If I sit down and I ground in nature and I do this practice that I'm going to show you, it really diminishes all the ascension symptoms right away because I've harmonized my energy to the stargate, our sun. So that's one big reason why we want to do this, is to alleviate the ascension symptoms. So, it's easier on your body. The second thing about aligning with the stargate as part of this bioplasmic ray healing, what the Arcturians have told me is that when you align with your stargate, it realigns you to a very pure primordial energy. You might have noticed that some primordial energy is coming out of you lately, even the shadow parts, like primordial rage. You're like, because rage is coming up right now. Very primal things are happening in our emotional body. These are all the effects of these pure light codes coming into our field and purging those that are not aligned to that frequency. And a lot of channelers, whistleblowers have talked about this, right? They call it the ascension or great awakening, however we name it. So by connecting with the stargate itself, it helps you purify your consciousness. It also, as a healer, I know a lot of you guys are healers, grid workers, teachers, facilitators, and channelers. That's where we get pure energy from. Is we go and align our medium, our body, our heart, our mind, our soul, straight to the pureness of those stargate, right? It doesn't have ego, it doesn't have anything, it's just pure source energy, because the stargates are all linked together, and they all link to the galactic central sun and to source. So through this network of stargate, you are channeling and pulling pure source energy into you. So it purifies you. And I know that some of you, thank you for being so nice, have told me that, oh, really love your energy. And I'm not always like this. 10 years ago, I had a lot of shadows and a lot of insecurities. And I think a large part of how I was able to serve in a state of pureness is because I do a lot of alignment like that to purify my consciousness. The third reason, if you're a healer, channeler, why connecting with this method is very helpful to you, is it helps you activate other people. Why are there so many healers out there? But some healers, you just know there's something different about them. Being in their field, being in their frequency and receiving the healing, the light language, being in the same vortex with them activates and shifts you. right? That's my secret. So, is you pulling in these pure codes and generating yourself almost like you are a stargate yourself. You are this pure beacon of light, and you then activate those that are coming into your path, and you can see the light, you can see the potential of who they can become, and you turn on that light with them. So you can see how this type of practices, not only does it help us individually, but it helps strengthen your spiritual gift as a teacher, as a healer, and then helping other starseeds, light workers that you work with activate as well. So there's a lot of elements into becoming a good healer, a good teacher, right? There, you have to do your shadow work and you have to do your ego work. There's a lot of ingredients, hard work that goes into it. But the innate pureness is coming from these stargate alignments. And let's see, any questions so far? Sometimes I get so excited. I talk a lot, and it could be a lot. Hi Crystal, nice to see you. Thank you, Sarah. Yes, if you enjoy this video so far, support me. It's free. Give me a thumbs up, takes 1 second, or share it with your network, other Arcturians. We gotta activate all of our families here. So now diving into what is this activation. So this activation in itself is 2-step. And I'm going to shift my camera here. Yay, okay, cool. So the first thing we wanna do is activate. And then the second step is attunement. And you guys can see it, right? So activate, what does it mean to activate yourself? And how is it compared to attunement? Activation, I want you to think of a TV, right? TV maybe even though not the highest vibrational thing, but you know what I mean. When you click the button and the TV turns on, or when the light bulbs turns on, that's an activation. So when the Vedics, when the Zen Buddhists talk about turning on the light of your consciousness, they're talking about this activation. Is the light, the flame within your third eye, within your consciousness, within your heart, flames and turns on, right? Your physical body, this medium, needs to turn on, right? This medium. And there are many ways to turn on your medium, your body, your consciousness. And you know the type of teacher that I am. I'm very flexible. I honor each soul's journey. But I'll share with you some of my favorite way to activate myself. So number 1 is light language. So I know some of my light language students are here, and also, some of you might have listened to some of my light language activation. So light language is you channeling that frequency and expressing it, translating it in a tangible way through your voice. And we already know voice and sound is a very powerful way to heal ourselves. So light language activation. So for example, the Arcturian one that I've done in the past, Arcturian light language activation, that works. I'll do a little bit today as well. Arcturian light language activation. Light language also can be subdivided into 2 categories, or more, but majorly 2. Number 1 is that sound, right? The sound frequency. Number 2 is through art. So for example, a lot of you send me these messages and shows me your circuitry. These are what I call light language circuitry. This is not completed yet. I just started, and the intention is the Arcturian activation. And once I've completed, I'll do another YouTube video and share with you the frequency of this grid and the light language activation. So, but even just by drawing this, and I have these little symbols here, I was going to channel rose here and some light rays, so not finished yet. But just by me putting my hand at the center of this, I started to get like really strong vibration. I was like, I was like, holy crap, okay. And it's not even finished yet. So I encourage those of you that are really artsy, And I am not artsy, trust me. If you've seen some of my drawings, it's not the best. But we can create something like this, where you can use like a sacred geometry. And the Arcturians told me to use something like this, where it's like an infinite loop, for the reason that when you want to work with life force, you want it to be expansive, you want it to be infinite. So a symbol like this with infinite loops doesn't trap energy anywhere. It's just expanding it, right? Infinitely. So working with these type of symbols is very good when you want to activate light bodies and when you want to activate your life force. When you want to do protection, you do the other grids like Merkaba, right? Because then it contains your energy. In the higher dimensions, I don't think they need as much containment unless there's like interference, but most of the time it's very safe in the higher dimension for them. So they use a lot of these expanding infinity. Some of you have sent me like you make symbols like this in your light language. Sometimes when you do healing, energy healing, you do things like this, right? Those are all innately, you already know on your soul level, that's a pathway of working and activating life force energy. And then you can just like channel some light language in different ways that you do. So that's one of the two ways of working with light language sound or the sacred light circuitry. The second way that you can activate yourself is through a crystal grid. So with the Arcturian energy, to me, I always feel like a dark blue kind of color, like an indigo color. So I might use something like lapis lazuli in the center of the grid. Again, you see how I'm using an orb, right? A circle shape, because it radiates in all directions. So when you make the crystal grid for your activation, you can then create this vibrational field effect for yourself. So that's one tip I have. The third type is through a ceremony. So any type of ceremony, it can just be you standing under a tree. It could be you standing on a piece of cloth that is indigo color. So anything will work for you. Don't limit yourself into like a very complicated step on how it needs to be. Listen to your heart, listen to your soul, and how you want to activate yourself by attuning to the Arcturian energy. What does Arcturus feels to you? What does your Arcturian DNA wants from you to activate, to turn on? What aligns you to Arcturus? Maybe it's getting the app, finding where Arcturus actually is, facing that direction. And that's as simple as that. And sometimes I do that too. So simple. So it can be as simple as complicated as you want, this activation process. When it comes to activation, you also want to do some key points like grounding. So if anyone that's watching and if you're going through really, really tough time and something like a psychosis, I would not recommend doing such an intensive spiritual practice now. So I've seen a lot of people, they want to channel, but they having a psychosis state. It's just going to make them more like floaty. In those states, you want to ground. You don't want to keep going up here. You want to work on your lower chakras. So of course, you want to make sure you're in the right state of being. Second is grounding. You always want to ground. Like I say, the higher the tree, the deeper the roots. If your roots are not deep, your channeling is not going to be as effective because you're like a kite, right? You're just like wobbling around. But if your roots are strong, nothing can interfere with you. Nothing can distract you. Just strong, like an oak tree, like an ancient tree. You want to do some protection as well. And with this type of activation, since it's very light, it's not like shadow work, then I would just use an invocation or a prayer to ask my Arcturian guides for protection. If you know your Arcturian self's name or if you know your Arcturian guides' names, then you can also call them in as well. So you want to do those steps, grounding, protection in your activation process. Once we have finished this, we're going to do step 2, which is the attunement process. What is attunement? Attunement is, so activation is when you turn on the TV. Now the screen is on, electricity is running through, right? So your body's turned on, life force is feeding your body. The attunement is you now consciously taking your consciousness as a frequency and aligning it to wherever you need. In this case, Arcturian stargate or Arcturus stargate. So it's just like taking the remote control, right? You are the master controller and you're changing the channel. Do you want Arcturian frequency? Do you want Pleiadian frequency? And you shift the channels and you attune to that channel. So that's attunement. So it's important you do activation first and then you do your attunement so that you are aligned in the correct way. If you do attunement first, then activation, it can still work. But to me, logically, it just feels more, makes more sense to do this one than this one. And so today we'll be doing that. And now let's talk about how to do the attunement before I guide you guys into it. So the attunement in itself also have different ways. And let me scrub. This is not the best whiteboard, but it's good enough. So, okay. With the attunement itself, how do you prepare yourself to receive the Arcturian bioplasmic ray during the attunement process is through the stargate alignment. Now, stargate is not something that's new. The indigenous people, Taoists, and other lineages have all talked about stargate. And some of the most common stargate is the Pleiadian stargate, the Arcturian stargates, Taurus stargates, Sirius stargates. With today's Arcturian stargate, the Arcturian stargate is quite important to us because the higher spiritual masters on Arcturus, which I call the Masters of Light, they help souls transition. So what they have shown me is that, let's say a soul came from another galaxy, let's say the Andromedan galaxy, and they are coming into our sector of the galaxy. They need a waypoint. And so the Arcturian stargate acts as that waypoint, that train station where the soul, the being arrives, and then the Arcturian masters or part of the collective will work with that soul either to translate that soul into a physical state, or they might adjust or help that soul harmonize to the energetics of this sector of the galaxy, or help them figure out how to manifest their mission in this galaxy. A lot of starseeds that I work with come from the Andromedan galaxies. We have been in a lot of missions in that galaxy, and even if you look at Elena Den-En's material, she says that there are dark beings that came from Andromedan galaxy to our galaxy, but there's good beings from the Andromedan galaxy that have followed those dark beings here to continue on our mission. So that's an example of how one soul can use the Arcturian stargate as a waypoint to work with this sector of the galaxy. The Arcturian stargate also works very closely to the other stargates that I've mentioned. And, you know, those are like higher dimensional stuff. You know, here we're more concerned with like, logistic and the 3D, more physical stuff. But on their plane, they look at more about etheric stuff. So even whistleblowers that are more into, the UFO stuff might not know these things or understand these things because these are even more higher dimensional stuff. So that's why I need to explain the different layers of existence. We have different jobs in different dimensions. So the stargate alignment have two ways to do it. And I want you to choose the method that works the best for you, because it depends on where you at, your skill level in terms of a channeler. The first type is through direct channeling through your upper advanced chakras. So you have, and this is my very nice drawing, your beautiful self And you have your chakras in your body, but you also have these advanced chakras. And the three that I tend to work with the most is one, your soul star. I always work with the soul star in almost every single private session because your soul star connects you to your higher self, your Akash, spiritual gifts, and so forth. The next, let's say, chakra that I like to work with is called the Stellar Gateway. And again, this is not new. I didn't come up with this. And this one is the Galactic Gateway. Okay, cool. So what is the difference between these two? Your Stellar Gateway is the chakra that funnels our own stargate's energy, so our own sun, right? Our own father sun's energy. The Galactic Gateway filters energy from all of the other suns, all of the other stargates in the proximity of your galaxy, like sector of your galaxy. So Pleiades, Lyra, Sirius, Antares, Arcturus. These are all then funnel in, and then it goes down to your body like this. So in today's method, number one, if you want to do the safe beginner way, you want to do this direct funnel where you are in your room, you have your protection around you, and you are activating these energetic centers above you, and it will look like these bright, bright star that's glowing above you, and you are funneling, receiving the bioplasmic ray directly through this funnel. So it's the safest way because you're grounded in your body, and you're just doing a straight column of light or vortex of light download, right, from your upper chakra. So that's method number one. Method number two, for some of you that are more advanced, is to do astral projection or light body projection. So another type of bioplasmic ray healing that I like to do is you go to the Stargate itself, and it's so hard to draw. But if you guys type in Google and you type in blue plasma, it will look like things like this. Like this is what the Arcturian Stargate looks to me. It's like almost like this or this, you know, it's very blue. There's a plasmic ray filaments coming out from it. These are more like a zoom in on plasmic light energy. So this will give you a visual, also acting as an activation. It clicks and opens your consciousness towards this energy. So this, even if you were to just to stare at that picture on its own, can be an activation. So these are the Arcturian Stargate images that helps me attune to the Arcturian Stargate. So you visualize this in your astral state when you project your light body out, and you are floating basically in space in that dimension. Once you connect with the Arcturian Stargate, and you want to then ask your higher self to help you receive these light codes. And how I receive it through my Arcturian guides is there's these light filaments, exactly like the pictures that I showed you. They reach towards me, and they are like batteries. They're like, poof, they plug in like roots into my system. And some other healers and other channelers have called these mycelium energy. Mycelium is that mushroom type of energy where there's like a grid work. They link together as a very strong life force energy. I think it's very similar to this. And it just reaches into the light body. Then you do the third eye, then you do the throat, you do the heart, you do the solar plexus, the root chakra. I even sometimes have them do my feet because sometimes I get ungrounded from doing this work all the time. And the center of my palms for healing purposes. So you're literally like being merged into this field of bioplasmic light through these light filaments. They're just like touching you and charging you with this energy. And I would just sit here, and this is like the best state to be in, guys. You're just like receiving energy. It feels so recharging, so vitalizing. It just feels like you can take a deep, fresh breath when you still indoor is amazing. And I would just stay in this state quietly for as long as I want to receive the bioplasmic light. And once I'm done, then we reverse the process. We thank the Stargate, we thank the Stargate Guardians, we thank our higher self and the Arcturian Masters of Light. And whatever is recharged and received in the body, I bring it back through my light body into my temporal self. So that's how you receive the bioplasmic light, either through the first method, the vortex of light straight down, or you project yourself to the Stargate, float there and receive it, and then come back. This method I would suggest only if you are very good at astral projecting, or if you've done it before and you're familiar with it, then this would be good. Also, if you're in a good state of being, if you are really, really depressed, really, really anxious, really, really in a state of psychosis, no. Something like this would be a lot more easier for beginners because you're just sitting there and you're receiving it from this funnel. So I think that's all I needed to teach before we start the actual process. Any questions, any insights, please feel free to share with us in the chat. Let me see. Oh, nice, perfect. Oh, cool, awesome. So no questions so far, clear, awesome. So we will be doing this together now live. I'm going to invite my Arcturian Masters of Light. There's two of them. One, her name is Ali, and she usually is more like the ambassador that talks directly to me. She's also the person that linked me to my galactic doctor that helped me heal from some of the Morgellons that was in the body. And so I have disclosed that story in another video. And so that's how they link me in. That's why I trust them, because if not for that connection, I would have not been able to walk. Like, it was so bad. And through Ali, I was also introduced to another guide. She's a bit more in the higher position, so I don't talk to her directly all the time. Her name is Omari. Omari acts more like a grandmother to me. She might not be my direct grandmother, but she has that energy. So whenever I work on these type of bioplasmic light, I invite Ali to assist me, right? Because she's in that dimension. She can do this a lot better than I do. So I'm just here to be a translator, a messenger. And cool, so I think we are ready. So take a moment, Starseeds, Lightworkers, I want to invite you to take a moment in your own ways to ground and activate yourself. I am going to activate myself with some light language. For those of you that feel comfortable with my vibration and that you want to receive the Arcturian light language as well, you can just tell your higher self, yes, I agree, and filter this energy as is beneficial to me. So you want to do a little bit of permission granting there. Those of you that know your own Arcturian light language, you can use your own frequency. Absolutely okay. If you have crystal that call to you, you can hold them, right, to activate. Completely up to you. If you have like an oil blend, so I make a blend that's for Arcturus. so many ways to activate yourself. You can use those methods. And I will guide you into the bioplasmic light healing now. Oh, is it buffering? Am I lagging? Sometimes it happens when we're doing these things. Okay, galactic team, we need your help to harmonize the electronics, the EMF, and make it smooth as smooth as possible. Thank you, thank you. And taking some deep breaths in, Starseeds. bringing your awareness into a state of receiving. You have been giving so much all your life to the people around you, trying to wake up people, red pill people, help people, heal people. Let this time, this 15-minute, to be for yourself, for your healing. No string attached. There's no price tag attached to this healing today. It's unconditional. Allow yourself to receive it directly from the pure Arcturian stargate, not from me, but directly from the stargate. And take a moment, Starseed's choice, to ground yourself. I love to use the method that my guides taught me, the tree of life, as I visualize, feel myself like a tree rooting down to Mother Earth, my spine strong like the trunk of the tree, and that my crown is open, abundant. Every leaf of the tree is orientated towards the light. And to help me ground deeper, you may also use my practice today. I like to inhale, draw life force up into my body, just like the tree bringing nutrients in the body. Exhale as I open my crown. Let this life force washes over my aura, and then I bring it back into the body. Again, it creates that infinity symbol. Inhale as you draw life force up from Mother Earth. Recharge yourself. Exhale out the crown, around the aura, then back into your body, harmonizing your field. As you do this, inhale life force, recharge your body if you're tired. Exhale if you're feeling anxious, a little stress, and just let it all go. Come into this warm, bright space with us. Inhale, life force up the body. Recharge, recalibrate. Exhale, release, return to ease, and bring your awareness back to the body. I like to balance it with the opposite flow as well. Inhale, as we feel the energy from source light funneling down through our advanced chakras, down to our crown, straight down the spine. And then exhale, I visualize the earth angel wings opening up in the back, meeting up top and bringing the energy back into the body. Inhale again, bring in source light, like a lightning bolt down your spine, nice and cleansed. Exhale, open up your wings, and each of you have different wings. Some of you might want to work with white feather angelic wings. Some of you that are more attuned to the shamanic energy might want a pair of falcon or eagle wings, dragon wings, or more elemental fairy wings. Whatever calls to you today, activate it. Inhale, source light down your spine. Exhale, open your wings bright and wide. Let me see your light. Let us come together with our lights. Wonderful. I want to create a safe container for our group, and thus in my third eye, I see a very large tree, almost like the tree you see in the Avatar movie, very strong, etheric, motherly tree. And all of us with our wings open, sitting around this tree. And through this tree, you are individually connected to Mother Gaia. We set our intention together, but your energy is yours. I cannot touch it. No one can touch it. It's your sovereign light body. And through this collective vortex of light, I invite Source, I invite your higher self, and I invite the high dimensional, high frequency Arcturian masters of light of this 7th dimension and higher that are service to others, that are watching over us as our soul families, that are and have been helping us with raising the vibration of our grids and certain locations. We want to thank you all. I want to thank you all lightworkers in part of this collective grid today for doing this work for yourself. As on behalf of humanity, we thank you so much, and may Source recognize your efforts today. Within yourself, starseeds, all of you have etheric DNA. I know many of you have the Arcturian light codes. Take a moment to go inwards. Start your prayer of protection. Ask for Source, your higher self, to shield you with a ball of light. Like the image that I show you, the blue plasmic ball of light. So energizing, so revitalizing. And ask them to teach you to align to the Arcturian stargate, 7th dimension and higher, to this pure light codes. To activate your own starseed DNA. And ask within your body, the Arcturian DNA within you to activate, to wake up, to receive directly from Source and the higher dimensional Arcturian stargate. Thank your body, thank your DNA. We transition to stage 2, the attunement. You can choose either method through the vortex of light directly from your stellar gateway and galactic gateway, or you can choose to receive and travel to the stargate. The method of travel that I'm guiding you to use is through that tree of life that the Ascended Masters of Light, had created for us. The tree will create a quantum tunnel that get us straight to the 7th dimensional Arcturian stargate. You might be able to reach higher, like 9th dimension or 12, but we want 7 and higher. The purpose of this quantum tunnel is that it gets your light body straight to the destination. So it's the safest way to travel. Those of you that have astral guardians, such as your dragons, if you choose this method, you can ask your dragons to come to be your guardian as you travel. We ask at this time, with either method that you choose, for your higher self to elevate your light body's frequency to match the 7th dimension. And thus here, Starseed, use your breath as you inhale, bring in high vibrational energy into your body, and exhale, Let it integrate. For each of you will feel different. For me, I always feel tingling when I know the attunement activation is working. For some of you might feel like a gentle swirling sensation in the body. Some will feel and see a lot of light around you. Everyone is a little different. Even sometimes some people you feel like you are as though you're levitating. Your body is on the floor, but then you're about like feet higher than your body. Those that are more clear cognizant will feel more peaceful. You will feel your mind becoming more pure. And slowly, depending on your method, if you're doing method number 1, the vortex of light, see yourself under this grand tree of life and ask your higher self to activate your stellar and galactic gateway. See these bright lights shining above you and feel that vortex of energy very gently swirling into your crown and then into your body, activating the channels to prepare yourself to receive. For those advanced practitioner, we are now quantum tunneling through this Tree of Life's tunnel, arriving towards a 7-dimensional Arcturian stargate. We see this blue plasmic ray radiating from the stargate. We take a moment to sit in gratitude. It's as though we have returned home, closer to source, closer to our higher selves. Let's take a moment to be in this vibration. When you're ready, asking your higher self to prepare and begin the bioplasmic light attunement healing now. Use your breath. If you're using the vortex of light, you will feel the tingling and the energy swirling down to your head. If you feel pressure, breathe it out. It's like a tunnel. As you breathe, you then let the energy stream down your body. It's very gentle. It's a very yin type of energy. And to me, with this method, the vortex of light, the bioplasmic ray can feel very cooling, almost like you're jumping into a waterfall in Costa Rica. It's very fresh, it's very cooling, very cleansing. If you're doing the astral light body projection, your higher self would then begin streaming forward these bio-light filaments, and these filaments will reach and touch all of your chakras and recharging you as though you are a battery. There will be some chakras that needs more healing. You might feel more sensations in those chakras, like the throat chakra. A lot of us have wounds there, the solar plexus, the root. Inhale to just receive from the stargate's energy. Bring it into your body. The frequency you want to bring yourself in is absorption, infusion, and integration. Inhale, absorption, infusion, integration. Absorption, integration, infusion. Supporting with Arcturian frequency light language of love. Usam tukili muyokoi, usam tukili muyokoi, ulunne nali ni aili nali aye. Hulundale na idi nali nunayini. Nule na idi nalo sundulu na ni aye. Unula na ki itali noi onno aini kili nani. Linnoi nai ulun sunulo ni kiri talo linai. Ulunde nai titai. Hundani ni nagi lini nai. Sulunde nale ni aluina ni ai. Asana diti alunde nai. Uluna ahora ini nali moe. Tulun dulu ai ti talun sini nai. Kusini nali ti I oilai. Undulu ne ni nai kia nali. Husini nale nu ole nali ni nayu kulu nai si anuine. The time has arrived, dear ones. Feel into your sovereign self, your soul, as a liberated soul, a spark of source. The thousand rays of the stargate imbued into you as your consciousness return home to pureness, your heart return home to authenticity, and your body return home to naturality. The simplicity returns you to grace, returns you to ease. All that you are now is all that you need to be. Radiate your light. There's nothing you need to do to receive, but simply being in this natural state of being. Come forth now, bringers of light, fragments of stars. Integrate your higher consciousness, uplift your DNA, bring forth a higher dimensional frequency into your temporal self now. May the branches of life, the double helix, the infinity symbol expands your life force energy. May you be reminded of your light, your masterful consciousness in times of need. May you be remembered. May you be honored. May you be embraced as your authentic self under natural law. May your hands allow you to give and receive divine compensation, divine healing. May your feet bring forth groundedness, brings forth momentum, energy moving forward and upwards. May every vortex in your body uplift you, help you cleanse, alchemize, and purify. You are perfect in this now, perfectly loved by the Prime Creator Source, pure consciousness. We receive these bioplasmic light infusion with gratitude. And we thank Source, the Arcturian Stargate, the Stargate Keepers for allowing us to receive this healing today, reminding us of our innate spiritual gifts, abilities. Thank you to our higher selves for guiding us. Thank you for our body, for allowing us to receive this. And I gently ask for each of your beautiful higher self to complete the bioplasmic light integration. Light filaments slowly receding from you back to the stargate, but leaving behind all of these beautiful pure light energy in your body, activating sections of your DNA. For those that use the vortex of light, I invite and ask your higher self to please begin to harmonize the energy with ease and grace in your body. Let the old energy disappear completely and the new energy infuse with ease and grace. We ask for those that have projected their light body to return through the same quantum tunnel back down to the tree of life or Mother Gaia. Return back to that circle of unity that we've created. Come back to your body with me. And take a moment here, to a moment of silence, and just ask for your higher self, your Arcturian soul, or your high-level spiritual masters of light of Arcturus to communicate with you through visions, through sound, feelings, and other ways that you communicate with your guides. Just receive. Grounding sequence begin. I ask for each star seed that wish to return now to ground back to Mother Earth using the tree of life, root back down to Mother Earth. This allow the light codes, the bioplasmic ray, to anchor down to your Earth star and into the grid line, creating a collective ripple effect. Each of us exponentially bring in this light codes. Perhaps it will touch someone, it will activate and awaken someone that is connecting to the grid. Strengthen your spine, stretching the body, and when you feel ready, you can slowly open your eyes and return back to present consciousness. Thank you, Mama Gaia. Thank you, Tree of Life. Thank you to the elementals. Thank you so much for creating this vortex for us. We appreciate you all. We thank you all. Amazing. Well, I know some of you like to just marinate in that frequency a little bit more, but some of you would have come back with me now. And sometimes you will feel like you are floating in clouds, which is good in a way, but do take some time to ground if you need to get back to work or if you need to do something. Always like to, cook or drink some water just to help me ground. And almond milk is good because it has the earthy, watery energy. Let me know how that practice goes. Did you have any challenges? What did you see? And any questions from the practices? I tried to be as instructional while not imposing too much guidelines at the same time. So you learn the technique and you practice it on your own. And each of you have your own gifts, right? If you are a grid worker, you might actually take some time to ground that Stargate's energy to Mother Earth's grid. So you can do something like that. Those of you that are artists, you can stay in that state and you can download a painting, you can download some light language, light circuitry, and anchor it back physically, right? So there's so much that you can do with this practice. And yeah, my guys just sat my butt down and say, you need to teach, you need to share. Sharing is caring. So play with it, practice with it. Again, I'm not always there with you, but you discern when is a good time for you to do this. And you discern if this is something that is good for you in the moment. Again, if you're super depressed, in a panic attack, psychosis, not good to do this practice. You want to ground. I want you to ground, do primal stuff to reconnect to earth. So discernment comes, right, comes to you. And so these type of practices also attune you more to the Arcturians, right? They see you now like a light bulb. From their perspective, they saying, oh, well, here's a starseed. Oh, here's a starseed. Oh, here's one want to connect with us. They can now see you, right? They can see your soul signature. So then it makes it easier for them to connect with you. It's like a light bulb. If your Wi-Fi signal is not blinging, then they don't know that you awaken. They don't know that you want to connect with them. But when you do this practice, and it really helps. And another word is try to do these practices with someone that is really care about you, has a pure heart, because lately I've been hearing from some of my clients and viewers that they don't really discern, and then they just choose anyone. I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm definitely not the best. But you want to get someone that is of pure energy. But because they can be a very powerful healer, guys, but if they don't do their shadow work, if they're doing it based on ego, they might lead you astray. So look for pure channels. Off the top of my head, Gigi, I think Gigi Young, she's pretty wise and very eloquent, and I like her energy, very soft, soothing. So you want to look for guides like that. Just because someone is like, this person is so powerful, doesn't mean that they have that right frequency. So I just want to bring that out, because right now there's a lot of chaotic energy in the collective. So sometimes it might mirror in your reality. So take some time to just, if you want to work with a healer or therapist or whoever, check their website out, check their YouTube, their Instagram, and just feel into their energy first, even if they will refer to you. But sometimes refer works for one person and the frequency doesn't work for the next person. So if you get referrals, you also want to take some time to, feel into whoever you want to work with energy. The one thing that I did hear from the Arcturians that is so simple is to raise our frequency, and they have been helping us. So actually what they do is they go to a certain spot on Earth and they will like raise the frequency of that spot. So I find that the Arcturians do more things like this, like more in the etheric, energetic sense. So if you're an Arcturian soul, if you're kind of like me, we tend to like to do those things. Whereas I find that a lot of Pleiadians, especially if they have connection to fifth dimensional Pleiadians, they do a lot of whistleblowing, a lot about UFO, a lot about agenda disclosing and things like that. So it depends on what type of energy or frequency you are connecting to. So that's what I notice about Arcturians. They tend to be a more energetic base type of beings that help us, and just from my experience. So Let me check the chat if I miss any questions. Yay, awesome. Everyone feeling great. Very gentle energy. Awesome. Amazing feeling. Yay, that's great. 555, everybody. Transformation. Oh, that's okay. If you have random thoughts popping in, it takes practice. The more purified you are, the more less interference that you get. So with interference, guys, I have a quick tip. So they're really ramping up the 5G, right? I know that sometimes people will say, oh, if you're high vibe enough, the 5G won't affect you. But let's be honest, we're not always in that state, right? Some of us are on a period. Some of us have a breakup. And you can't always be high vibing even right now. So try to wear things that protects you, like shungite. I always have pieces of shungite around me all the time, even when I sleep. And I try not to get close to any 5G tower because the signal, I think Magenta Pixie call them rogue signals, can sometimes affect us, especially if we have a lot of heavy metal or sometimes implants in our bodies. It can affect us. I've seen that happen with some people. So if those are the cases, then you want to just wear those things, right, to block off those energies. Her video was pretty good. She talked about the black flame and working with that type of protecting energy when you are more sensitive to EMF. And as Arcturian souls, I find that us starseeds are more sensitive to EMF. So if you're like me, if you hold the phone for a long time and you start to get like flu symptoms and headaches, if you're like that, like me, or your hands start to burn, you probably need to use that. So sometimes I use my phone when it's charging and I put like a piece of shungite behind it just to help block out some of the energy. So doing little things like that will help. And let's see, anyone else with trouble? So Diala, mini headache. So drink water. So if you're having headache, most likely you're dehydrated right now. So go drink some water for me and take it easy for the rest of the day. It's also, when you work with me, it's quite intense. Sometimes I just go boom. So it might take a little bit for your body to adjust. But the water will help. I always have 2 glasses of water next to me. So I hope that helps, Diala. It's not going to last long. The headache is going to go away very soon. Let's see. Yeah, pressure in the head. Yeah, like I said in the beginning of the workshop, if you feel pressure on your head, it's usually because there's blockage there. It's like Mario. So for Mario, is you cleaning your pipe. So if the pipe has some blockages and that light is trying to come in, it will chip away some of the blockages. So you might feel the pressure, you might feel the pain. So some people, they freak out right away when they receive a healing and then they get a little pain or pressure. I never feel freaked out because I trust the process. It's like physically, when you go to the gym, you work out, you get the muscles, but you get sore muscle the next day, but it's working. Or a naturopath, when they help you detox, right? You get some symptoms of detoxing. So spiritually, it's the same thing. So it's sometimes okay to feel a little pain, a little pressure, because it's showing you there's some blockages there and it's chipping it away. So you want to drink some water and take some rest to help your body adjust. And if, let's say, during any meditation that you do, if it becomes too intense, then you just tell your guide, your higher self, oh, it's a lot. Maybe we can just do smaller layers today. So you can tell them that, right? Because they, from their perspective, might not know that. So you can tell them it's just too much at the time. So, but it goes away within 2 hours. So it's not that bad. With some people that has this type of pain consistently or chronically, usually means there's some type of energetic or karmic blockages that they want to work on. So like some of my clients have lower back issues, and we found it's like from past life, right? From being stabbed in the back and throat, being like killed because we were witches or labeled as witches and things like that. So if it's chronic pain, then it's most likely karmic based. So sometimes also I realize that my guides will show me there's something to work on through those tightness or pain because we're not aware of it. So when you ask for the healing, it's like showing you like a torch, like, oh, look, here's some stuff that is ready to release, which is a good sign because it can be dissolved and released. So I hope those tips help. So don't freak out. It's a part of the process, part of the healing process. Oh, okay. Well, we have 3 more minutes and I gotta go. Let's see. Lori did a meditation with a giant selenite Merkaba. I use selenite all the time, Lori, so that works. I always have a selenite wand that I use during sessions. So totally. Some people it's like, oh, the Merkaba is bad, or some people the Merkaba is good. I always think it's your intention. Like this is just a tool, right? If you want to use it to hit someone, then it's bad. If you want to use it to heal, then it's good. So that's my view on it. Awesome, everyone. Let me know if you have any questions. When is my live program? I'm not sure yet. I usually just come on spontaneously when my guides give me a download and they give me a rush of energy to do the live. So sometimes it's spontaneous. But I do try to do some more videos on a regular basis. So if you like this type of videos, subscribe, share with your friend, may help them. So what else? Yeah, so far so good. I'm taking a break from private sessions. So there's a wait list. So if you want to work with me privately, there's a wait list. You can email me and let me know. My channeling course is still open for enrollment. All my courses are open for enrollment, except for the light language one. Also, that one will open up in the fall because I already did 2 rounds. So take a break from that. And let me know if there's any other question in the comment section below. Like if you are learning channeling, I recommend the book Opening to Channel. That helped me a lot in the beginning. The Psychic Pathway as well also really helped me. So maybe those books you can look into. So lots of things. And if you have resources that help you, don't be afraid to share with your light workers in the comments section. It always comes back to you through the divine. So don't be afraid to give, don't be afraid to share. And if you have your own channels, go out there and share your light and work your magic. We need all the high vibes, all the smiles and positive energy that we need. So high five, light workers, we're doing it. High fives for the 555 portal. And I send you guys so much love, and I pray and wish for Source to support you in the best way, most aligned to your higher self, and have a good rest of your day. I wish you a very sweet dream tonight. Get a good night rest, and I will see you guys soon. Awesome. Well, go out there, work your magic, and I will see you next time. Bye.